and Equitable, the formula for success. Equitable is a member of the Global AXA Group. This is CNBC.
We got a caller complaining about having one too many bills. Jimmy from Philadelphia. How can I help you?
Yeah, Ray, you got any ideas on how to pay them off?
Yeah, consolidate. Take those high-interest credit cards, loans, pay them off at once.
How?
Own a home?
Yeah.
Call Personal Mortgage for a home equity loan. In 5 to 10 minutes, they'll show you how to reduce your monthly payments, what, $500, $600, $800 a month? Personal Mortgage. Call them, then take your wife to a movie, have some fun. But, Jimmy, don't charge it on your credit card. Next caller.
The end of an era as an 8-year run comes to a close. That's coming up right now. Also tonight, our undercover investigation into dental diagnosis. Can you trust your dentist? Plus a blast from the past. Does his toilet tissue pass the test, or is it flushed by the competition? And our own very own GizWiz Dickie D is here with some of his favorite gadgets from the past and present.
All tonight on Steals and Deals. Now here's Janice Lieberman.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. For 8 years, Steals and Deals has been informing, enlightening, and hopefully entertaining you, our loyal viewers. We've warned you about rip-offs, told you how to save big bucks on big purchases, and previewed the newest trends and hottest styles. Well, tonight, the top story is us. After a successful 8-year run, Steals and Deals is going off the air. For the next 2 nights, we'll show you a few of our favorite stories from the past 8 years. We'll gather together our correspondents and the people behind the scenes to put these stories together, and we'll do a little reminiscing. But before we go any further, I would like to thank all of you for being so supportive over the years. Your cards, letters, and phone calls were crucial to the success of our show. Your comments about specific stories, requests for more information, and tips often led us to future investigations. We're proud of our work, and we would now like to go back and take a look at some of our favorites. First up, I'd like you to meet our West Coast field producer, Gil Cofrancesco. Gil joins me now from Los Angeles with one of his favorite stories from the past. Gil, thanks so much for joining us, and Gil, thanks for your hard work over the past 5 years. What do you have for us tonight, Gil?
Thank you, Janice. You know, you and I worked on so many investigative segments together. It was always a pleasure to take a break and do something a little less serious, like our Charmin bathroom tissue test. Remember? We really papered the town with this one.
You're about to see the difference between Charmin Double Roll and the other Double Roll.
To dramatize the point that their double roll of toilet tissue outlasts the other leading brands,
18 feet longer.
Procter & Gamble has concocted a pseudoscientific drop test from the top of a building. Since we're a reality-based show, we set out to find the truth in this advertising.
Your skin.
The first thing we need, though, is our 2 competing brands of paper. Charmin, of course, and Kleenex, according to a P&G spokesperson, is the other brand used in the TV commercial. Now all we need is a 200-foot-tall building. The Central Park at Toluca Lake building in beautiful downtown Burbank, California, is 200 feet tall. And operations manager Andrew Dyroy is intrigued enough by our request that he's agreed to take us to the top in just enough time for us to talk Andrew into being our unbiased tester. We find ourselves viewing the city from 15 stories up. Andrew wastes no time and goes right to work. He put Charmin on the right and printed Kleenex on the left. Andrew is flushed with excitement.
Well, here we go. Bombs away.
And talk about bombs. This isn't the way it worked in the commercial. The rolls are tearing and blowing away. Let's try it again. Uh-oh. This time the Kleenex even jumped sideways to another ledge. Our work is piling up. We checked with Procter & Gamble, who let us in on their little secret. Their commercial dramatization is a combination of live action, miniatures, and computer animation. Well, so much for reality. Time to try fantasy, and nothing says fantasy more than the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This should be the perfect place for our rollout. Again, Charmin on the right, Kleenex on the left. On your mark, get set, roll. Charmin did outlast the Kleenex, and according to our measurements, by 18 feet, just like the man said in the commercial. And our first annual toilet tissue rollout is a success. Of course, this might be our last toilet tissue rollout. Gil, you have a great sense of humor. I don't know how you get these guys to cooperate with you.
We just asked, Janice, and we just assumed they're going to do it, and they do.
Well, now everybody knows your face, so be careful out there, Gil. Gil, you know, we have done other things besides toilet tissue.
True. People aren't going to lose a lot of money over 18 feet of toilet paper, but thousands of Americans were losing their life. They still are losing their life savings over the Nigerian scams. You remember that series? That one took us all the way from L.A. to Washington, D.C. and back. Remember that, Janice?
That was a serious problem, and we even, you know, talked to the Secret Service, and we talked to the Nigerians about that, and they had some interesting advice for us. Do you remember what they told us?
I remember you at the Nigerian embassy, and the ambassador had a little piece of that little golden word of advice for you.
Yeah, you going to say it or I?
You tell us.
He said, if anyone sends you any of those, tell them to go to hell, man. I mean, that's what he said.
I love it when you talk dirty, Janice.
Oh, Gil. Well, thanks for everything and for all your good humor.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
It was my pleasure, my privilege. Thank you, Janice.
Okay, Gil. Well, going to the dentist is a painful experience, especially when you get a diagnosis you didn't expect. And grab your dancing shoes. We'll revisit the night we learned the steps of the hottest trend around. More as Fields and Deals continues right here on CNBC.
How many consumer complaints did the Better Business Bureaus receive last year? The answer in a moment.
I don't know what's up outdoors. Your guess is as good as mine. This is the Carrier Indoor Weather Report. Indoor weather is ideal in Death Valley. Perfect up in Alaska, fair and mild in New Orleans, and everywhere else you find Carrier Indoor Weather Systems that have been making the weather you like since 1902. Which brings us to the long-range forecast. It'll be just the way you like it next year. Your cup of tea at the turn of the century and custom-made for the new millennium.
Carrier custom-made indoor weather.
He's worked almost 40 years. She's worked almost 40 years. And during that time, they've gone on walks together instead of cruises and shared secrets together instead of champagne, just so that someday they could retire and be together all the time. At Cigna, we care about the retirement dreams of over 5 million people. After all, they're our dreams, too. Cigna, a business of caring.
There'd be a way to send paperwork and merchandise overseas. It gets attention. Something that says, open me. I'm important. But it's got to save money. Real money. And go to all my key markets. Plus it would have value. Be reliable. And fast.
Global Priority Mail is happening at your U.S. Postal Service. We deliver.
International funds. They can diversify your portfolio and help offset market fluctuations here at home. But to invest wisely, you need local knowledge, you need fidelity, and the strength of our overseas specialists. Professionals who are electronically linked. With on-the-scene insights, they uncover opportunities others may miss. It's how Fidelity brings the world to your portfolio. For a free international investing kit, call 1-800-FIDELITY.
CNBC's Business Center is about power. Who's got it and how they did it.
Business Center is about money, people making money, and what they're doing with their money.
Business Center is about people who work hard and play hard.
And sometimes fall hard.
Business Center with Maria Bartiromo and Tyler Matheson premieres Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only at CNBC.
Behind every deal is a great story.
Consumer complaints did the Better Business Bureaus receive last year? 1.3 million.
Well, we pride ourselves on our investigations. Those reports that really make a difference. Tonight, Larry Posner joins us with a dental investigation he's been working on for several months. Larry.
Janice, choosing a dentist can be a difficult decision. Since most of us don't know much about dentistry, we trust that we'll get competent treatment at a fair price. But you can lose your faith if you get a diagnosis that doesn't seem right.
After my examination, he had called me a couple days later and told me that I had 7 cavities. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it.
Dawn Ruppke, a CNBC employee, is talking about her dentist, Dr. Leonard Resnick. She picked him from a list provided by her HMO. She trusted Resnick would do a good job, but soon became skeptical because her previous dentist gave her a clean bill of health at her last checkup.
I had gone to the dentist 6 months previous to that, and I was diagnosed with 0 cavities.
So we brought Dawn for other opinions. First to Dr. Stuart Hirsch from New York University's Dental School. Then to Dr. Seymour Friedman from Stony Brook's Dental School. And finally to Dr. John Dode, a practicing dentist for 26 years and an author of a book on dentistry. Dawn was x-rayed, examined, and poked. All the dentists agreed on one thing.
We found that she has a very nice mouth. Good, healthy mouth. Dawn's mouth is in excellent condition.
But there was some disagreement on exactly how many cavities she had.
She had a tooth on the upper left side that had some decay in it. 2 cavities that should be excavated, filled. She has no cavities.
But their difference, no cavities, 1 cavity, or 2 cavities, is a far cry from Dr. Resnick's diagnosis of 7 cavities. That aroused our suspicion. Dawn went back to Dr. Resnick for a cleaning, and we brought our hidden cameras along. And he seemed interested in taking care of her cavities. When we contacted Dr. Resnick to discuss his diagnosis, he declined an on-camera interview, but did tell us that Dawn had 7 small cavities. He conceded other dentists might have waited to fill them.
This guy wanted to drill 7 holes into my mouth. And if I hadn't told you about it, if I hadn't had those second, third, and fourth opinions, maybe I would have done that.
Next, we decided to see how another patient would fare when getting diagnosed by Dr. Resnick. So we sent Steels & Deals staffer Edie O'Callahan for an exam. And Edie was a little surprised by the results.
So he called me back about 2 or 3 days later to tell me that I had 3 cavities, which shocked me.
Only a few months earlier, Edie said her regular dentist told her she had no cavities. So like Dawn, Edie went for other opinions. First to Dr. Dode, and then to Dr. Hirsch.
What's your diagnosis right now of how many cavities she has?
She has no cavities that I would fill at this time.
You have no cavities. Your mouth is absolutely perfect.
Dr. Dode was surprised when we told him about Dr. Resnick's diagnosis, that Edie had 3 cavities.
I think it's so highly unethical to do that to a young person with beautiful teeth, to give a diagnosis which has no truth to it at all.
When we spoke to Dr. Resnick, he stuck to his diagnosis and said Edie had 3 small cavities, but admitted that they were borderline cavities.
How could dentists look at the same mouth but come up with different diagnoses? Why would one dentist want to drill holes in someone's mouth while another wouldn't do anything at all? Well, the answer to that question is not clear-cut.
It is not black and white, and I think that is what I would like to get across. It's not something that is obvious or not obvious all the time.
Dr. Hirsch explained to us that there are other factors beyond x-rays and visual examinations that go into making a diagnosis, like how well he knows a patient and how often he performs examinations. He might wait to see how decay progresses in a patient he sees often and fill a cavity in a patient he won't see for a long time. He also pointed out some subtleties in x-rays where clinical judgments must be made.
I would say that there is some subjectiveness to it.
So there can be a difference in treatment, but the diagnosis of disease should be very consistent throughout the country.
Dr. Dode has been critical of his profession and has written about it in his book, The Whole Tooth. He believes health maintenance organizations are creating incentives for dentists to drill when they can.
Their pressure is really not to manage care, but to manage costs. And the way they manage costs is by lowering the fees that dentists get. The fees have gotten so low in many programs that the dentists are forced to, one, put out a huge volume of dentistry to make a living.
Unfortunately for Dawn, this experience has left her somewhat jaded.
Well, I look back on it and I think to myself that dentists are supposed to be reputable citizens and you should be able to trust them. And if you can't trust them, who can you?
If you think your dentist is recommending too much work on your mouth, don't hesitate to get a second opinion. And you might want to consider going to a dental school for that opinion. They won't have a financial incentive to overprescribe work.
That is an amazing investigation. I mean, you really have to wonder the next time you go to a dentist.
You really do, Janice. And this being our farewell show, I just want to say that I'm glad the show gave me the opportunity to do these types of investigations. And on a personal note, I just want to tell you how much I've enjoyed working with you the past 2.5 years. And our viewers should really know how much you cared about the issues and reports that we've done. And I'm really going to miss working with you, Janice, and I'm really going to miss Deals and Deals.
So am I, Larry, and we've done some really good reports together, and you've been great, and your heart has always been in it, and your soul, and you're out there on the streets, and you'll be missed as a show, I'm sure.
Thank you very much, Janice.
Thanks, Larry. Well, you don't get to see Karen Millette too much. She's one of our powerful sources behind the scenes. Karen has many talents. She books our guests and even produces pieces for our show. Now, Karen and I spent a lot of late hours together. We've even danced the night away, right, Karen?
That's right, Janice. And I remember that night out very well. Being on the trends beat means that I'm always on the lookout for what's hot. And when I saw an ad for tango lessons, I couldn't resist. Take a look at the steps we learned.
Barry, fellas, guys, come on now, let's not get distracted.
It takes two to tango. The stars of True Lives showed us the sensual side of the dance. It's the tango trend, and I decided to give it a try.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Armando Orsuza. I am from Buenos Aires, Argentina. And we are tango dancers with my wife, Daniela Arcuri.
Restaurant lounges like this one are taking advantage of the dancing craze, offering step-by-step instructions from the pros. $15 covers admission and lessons. So why are people doing the tango again?
Keeps me close to my wife.
Oh, it is sexy. You dance close and unusual dance steps, and it's something different.
I like it because it just feels so natural.
Dancer Armando Souza, who teaches dinnertime lessons at Manhattan's Bistro Latino, says the tango brings people together.
Young people are learning tango. Before was the music from another country, like the rock and roll, and the tango was to the side. Now the young people is coming again to the tango, and that is great.
Okay, here's a quick lesson. Grab a partner and give it a whirl. It goes like this.
Ready, we go. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sit together, 8.
That wasn't so bad. And remember, practice makes perfect.
It's the tango trend. It's here to stay. Here's looking at you.
Another one of my favorite assignments was working with a group of 4th graders. We gave out cameras and asked them to photograph what makes them happy. Here's what they came up with.
It's kind of neat because you get to, like, keep your memories. I don't know, I was just on a nature walk and I thought this duck was really weird. You take stuff that's interesting so you learn about it. I took a lot of cat pictures because I have a lot of cats. The tree was in the way, and when I shot it, I just noticed it after I took the picture. And then I said, oh no, it's not going to come out really good. So just in case I took 2 of them, and the second one didn't come out good, turned out the first one did.
They're so sweet. That was so well done. And the tango was so much fun. I don't think people realize how much you do behind the scenes where you book the guests and you tell me what they're going to talk about. And I always feel confident when you're on the beat. And I just want to say thank you, Karen, because you've done an unbelievable job.
Oh, well, thank you. It has been an amazing experience working with such a professional group of people. And I will take these tools with me.
And all the contributors that you work with, Dickie D and our nutritionist and Asa Aaron.
Yes, I want to thank all of them because without them, we wouldn't have our guest segment for the show, which I think was such a valuable tool to the show. And they were so great, and you could always count on them.
And that's because of you, Karen.
Thanks.
Thank you. When we come back, our very own Giz Wiz is here to share his favorite memories and gadgets. That's just ahead as Deals and Deals continues.
Tonight. Tonight on Equal Time, When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men. He brought you some of Hollywood's most memorable movies. Director Rob Reiner. Then on Hardball with Chris Matthews. Teens Who Kill. Should they be tried as adults? Tonight, starting at 8 on CNBC. Traces of paint. Pieces of a taillight. The search for a Fiat. Did a mystery car play a role in the fatal crash of Princess Diana? Hear the latest theory in the investigation. Tonight on the news with Brian Williams.
To grow stronger, America depends on its bounty, both natural and man-made. Finding new ways to get these goods to market more efficiently and reliably is the noble pursuit of Norfolk Southern, the thoroughbred of transportation.
When looking to make the most of your investment, look to Oldie. We've changed the landscape of personal investing by combining the elements of a full-service broker with the savings of a discount broker. Whether it's stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, an Oldie professional will help you select investments suited to your goals. Think about it. Investment advice with commission savings. It's worth the look. Call Oldie, America's #1 full-service discount broker.
Before the markets open and after the closing bell, turn to New York One for the Fortune Business Report. Weekdays, every morning and every evening, the experts at Fortune magazine bring you the latest financial information from New York and markets around the world. So turn to New York One each weekday for the Fortune Business Report.
The Fortune Business Report is sponsored by OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle.
I've begun to use the car service more and more for situations in which otherwise I would have had to rent a car.
My most important thing is usually getting places on time, airports, that kind of thing.
The only car service I know that has frequent flyer mileage.
I live for the frequent flyer mileage. My wife is a warrior. It's worry-free. And they're prompt.
I know they'll be there on time.
And it's not expensive.
They're affordable. I like that.
Dick DeBartolo has been making me laugh every Friday for 8 years. Now, Dick is an original, and he's added so much fun, life, and interesting stuff to our show. He's part of our family, and tonight he's brought some of his favorite gadgets to share with us. So you go, Gizmo.
Okay, fine. I'm going to start with a piece that I did a couple years ago, and it's sort of a whole new hobby for me. Let's run that videotape. It was something called outdoor trains. It's trains that are so strong you can walk on the tracks. They're a G-scale. And the manufacturer told me that I could set them up in my yard, leave them out in the rain and the snow. I got right into it here, had on my my engineer's cap. And since it wasn't raining out when we shot the piece, well, I got artificial rain. And they are still out there running in my backyard. They've been in there for about 2 years. Now let's cut to something here. I just added something brand new. I added a trolley line. This is the new LGB trolley. Believe it or not, it can be powered from overhead wires if you want, or track powered. I know, it's incredible. And I'm going to show you what that looks like running. Let me find this little guy here, and let's cut to this little high-8 camcorder here. And on the screen, is it running here? Let me just see this little guy. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
There is, believe it or not, I have 40 feet of track in my backyard that runs out. It runs through shrubbery, and it runs through, there he is.
Does Dick love what he does, or what?
And this little guy here, by the way, is the Hitachi Hi8 camcorder. It's something we were using to shoot field pieces, and it's stereophonic sound. And as you see, it has a built-in 3-inch monitor,
that is cool.
So it's really great.
Nice.
Brand new. I'm showing you some gadgets for spots I was working on. This is brand new from Franklin Electronics. This little guy hooks up to your computer. You can put it in the docking station. When you take it out, it weighs less than 2 ounces.
Right.
You have 3,000 pieces of information.
You're kidding.
Phone numbers, your to-do lists.
Wow.
And if you have a laptop computer, this entire little unit slides into the card slot on the computer. You type all the information you need to know, download it to this little guy, and when you're on the road...
You just crack it away.
Right. Less than
Isn't that
this is
fabulous?
brand new. It's called the Rex.
from Franklin.
Is my number and address in there?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I want
Her home phone number. I'm filling
everything.
Okay, we did a show, a spot on computer software. Photoshop Deluxe, we had a lot of fun with that, changing people's heads and morphing.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Right. Well, Photoshop, there's a new version of Photoshop out with more special effects. And Adobe Illustrator has put out Adobe Illustrator 7. And this is for the real talented artists. We lent this to someone at Mad Magazine to try it out. And what's great about Adobe Illustrator 7 is that now almost everything you could do on the Mac, you can now do on a regular
very
IBM.
compatible. Great.
And Adobe told me between now and the end of the year, a lot of free software. So look for
That's
this.
a deal. That's our last deal we give you. We leave you with a deal.
And our final gadget. I found this in the Daymar catalog. I'm one of those people that gets very depressed in the winter because of lack of light.
Right.
And this is called the Wellness Light. I've only used it a few times. You put it on your forehead or over your eyes, and you keep your eyes closed, and you do about 8 minutes of therapy, and believe it or not, it makes me feel less blue because they tell me the intensity of the lights equals the sun or daylight. So I'm not a doctor, but I got wonderful use out of the Wellness Light.
So next Friday when I'm blue and you're not here, I'm going to use the light.
I tell you, Janet, I don't, you may see Gizwiz tears. I have never had so much fun.
Well, we
and
love
God
you.
bless you and the viewers for all their great mail.
And your viewer mail and also viewer inventions.
Viewers' inventions.
Right.
And, you know, I could cry, but I won't.
Yeah, we
okay,
won't.
right.
Well, once again, we invite you to join us tomorrow night as we continue our farewell show as Steals and Deals comes to a close. Thank you for watching and for being with us all these years. And Dick appreciates it, too. And for the last time with Dick, remember, if it sounds too good to be true,
It probably is.
I'm Janet Lieberman. For all of us here at Steals and Deals, we wish you a good night and hope to see you tomorrow night.
This is a CNBC News Break. I'm John Snyder. At least 59 are dead, many missing after Hurricane Pauline hit Acapulco, Mexico, and surrounding areas with 100-mile-an-hour winds and heavy rain, sending mud, water, and debris racing down the main streets. The death toll is expected to rise. Admitting she is angry at White House delays in releasing tapes of potential donors meeting with President Clinton, Attorney General Reno also said she will not be pressured into appointing an independent counsel to investigate fundraising.
I think the American people would rather have their investigations conducted in a solid, professional way, not in the headlines, but in a thorough, methodical way that builds the evidence that stands up in court.
Dean Smith, one of college basketball's greatest coaches, has announced his retirement after 36 years at North Carolina. He won 879 games, the most in major college history. The Dow was down by 34. More news here in 30 minutes.
Maybe you like high-tech, healthcare, or the electronics sector. But which stocks do you buy? It's not easy to know, which is why you should consider Fidelity Sector Funds, where you select the industry and let our experts pick the companies. Because Fidelity does what you don't have time to. Research over 6,000 companies and track new developments every day. So diversify your portfolio. For a free sector fund investing guide, call 1-800-FIDELITY.
If I ran the post office, there'd be a way to send paperwork and merchandise overseas that gets attention. Something that says, open me. I'm important. But it's got to save money, real money, and go to all my key markets. Plus, it would have value, be reliable, and fast.
Global Priority Mail. It's happening at your U.S. Postal Service. We deliver.
Equitable, the formula for success. Equitable is a member of the Global AXA Group.
Rudy Giuliani has made real progress in the fight against crime. Now he needs a real partner. Abe Hirschfeld will work with Mayor Giuliani to put more police in our neighborhoods, target problem areas for intensive effort, and build a stronger relationship between police and the people they protect. More cops on the beat, better police relations, and a new partnership with Mayor Giuliani to fight crime. It's the Abe Hirschfeld plan, and it all adds up to a safer Manhattan.